What is up, everyone? How's it going? How's it going? I think I fixed the audio sounds for everything coming in. Yeah, let's make sure you know that.
Emotional, damn it!
That. Okay, so yeah, there we go. I don't know this guy. Okay, so now I don't hear myself from the microphone. Great. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? So I upgraded the microphone a little bit. Check that out. Yeah, we got my logo on the back. I still got to work on finding a better boom arm so this doesn't, you know, want to go Monica Lewinsky on me. I know that's a little effed up, but how's it going, everybody? We got Turkey Day coming, so just been getting into the groove of that kind of shit, and wait, god damn it, the ad's running. I really gotta change that ad timing, because, like, yeah. Okay, let me set this watch to get charged, because it's kind of low on battery, and see, at Monica Lewinsky. I gotta find a better phrasing to say that. It, pulled a P. Diddy? I've been trying to figure out how to keep that mic from dropping down too much, because the problem is that I have it wall mounted over there. Thought it was a great idea, and it was at the time. But then, like, I notice I play with the mic positioning quite a bit, and I also want to get the, you know, the plate in there, because it looks so nice. I spent money on it. See, but then it, like, you know, wants to drop down in my lap. Microphone, you're not my boyfriend. Or girlfriend. I don't know. So I am going to get a new, mic arm eventually for that. Probably get one that goes behind the monitor and reaches over, you know, gives it the reach around. You need to add a triangle. Yeah, triangle, the triangle of power. So what the hell was I going to talk about? I know there was like a couple of topics I wanted to talk about. I know like there was Blue Sky I mentioned and all that kind of stuff. Shit. I know there were some interesting things that happened. But Blue Sky is, I will say, is popping off. I've been saying that for a while. I really can't recommend it enough to go check it out. I know a lot of people are like, hey, the leftist, you know, echo chamber. It's really... Here's the reality. I don't care what political persuasion you are, but I am noticing a trend with anyone that tends to have right-leaning beliefs. And I have a lot of friends that are right-leaning, and they, you know, have a lot of respect and everything. If you're coming in with the attitude of being antagonizing, argumentative, and basically there just to start a fight, this ain't Twitter. Twitter has that whole mentality and everything like that. And it's honestly a very toxic mentality to have in the first place. So that's one reason that I've actually been really enjoying Blue Sky and Mastodon, is there's a little bit better sense of a community. It reminds me of like Twitter 2014, 2016, when I was actually joining the network back then, about a decade ago. So, did you really just clip my mic? Yeah, what I was saying is that Blue Sky has a lot of interesting things about it. Now, I will be completely honest and say, at first, when I started on Blue Sky, I was one of the first 50,000 people on there, to be clear. I didn't really see too much promise in it because, you know, there wasn't a lot of people there. You know, so the problem that I had is I like to talk mostly about tech, get a little bit of gaming news, regular news, things like that. and Blue Sky at the time didn't have the amount of users on it a year ago. But I still, kept my profile around and had hope that, things could improve because I remembered, 2016, I started to first play with Mastodon. And Mastodon, when I first started playing with it, I had like 50K users then with it. And, it's also grown to a few million users there. Admittedly, Mastodon has a little bit more steeper learning curve, and there's, a lot more to be said about it. I still think Mastodon has great things. I do really, looking at everything going on right now, see Blue Sky potentially overtaking Twitter. Maybe not in the next few months, but if the trends continue. So, for those of you that are not aware, isn't Blue Sky made by original Twitter creators? Sort of. Sort of. Do you use Apple laptop for work? No. I actually have moved on from Apple. My last MacBook that I used was a 2011 MacBook Pro, and ever since then, I have either used Windows at work with Windows Subsystem for Linux, or I have used straight Linux. That's generally how I roll. Mac is more of a hindrance than a help for a lot of the work that I do because of the Appleification of different things. Without getting too much into it, basically, ask a lot of your dev friends when they go to install Docker, all the nuances that they have to do versus just the general Linux instructions to get Docker working. That's just a small example. There's many more things out there. Yitz is a full stack developer. He's even switched from Mac and doing Windows with Windows Subsystem for Linux and seen an improvement for his productivity because he no longer has to spend hours upon hours after updates trying to figure out his work environment and dev space and all of that. Plus, he has a lot more resources to do a lot of the basic things that he needs to do for his day-to-day job. There is actually the running trend with a lot of Mac people that they have to shut down things to be able to do their work because I don't know what it is with Apple people. They try to run everything on hardware that isn't up to spec for what they need. And what I mean by that is the continuing myth that people have with, oh, you just need 8 gigabytes of RAM on an ARM laptop, because it's so much more efficient than an x86 laptop. I'm sitting over here like, I don't care if you use x86 or ARM. You're going to need at least 16 gigabytes of RAM these days. That's just the reality of things. You're going to want 32 gigs if you're going to do a developer environment. Ideally, 64 if you're doing heavy things. And I remember when Yitz and I, started getting to know each other, he was blown away by the fact that, he's doing professional day-to-day work, and he'd have Adobe Premiere, he'd have Slack open, and he'd have, his dev environment he needed for things. And if he was in a meeting, he would have to shut down one of those projects to have enough resources just to have the video call. And the regular thing I would hear from him and his developers in their chat was, well, yeah, I'm working on this. I'd show you, but right now I'm in the call right now, so I don't have enough resources to do the thing. And then what turned him was, so the System 76 Pangolin laptop you've seen me use a while ago. I take it for my travels for mobile editing and stuff like that. It's a couple years old, but it has 64 gigs of RAM. What turned him onto that was the day that I forgot I had 3 virtual machines running and was playing Borderlands 2 and was streaming. And I forgot there were 3 virtual machines on it. So, yeah, I don't use a Mac. The System 76 laptop. Oh, funny, Aaron. It's friends like you who needs enemies. Set up an I2P router yesterday, so that was kind of cool. That's fun to play with. So I do recommend doing all sorts of fun little projects, especially in weird networking niches, to understand how traffic flows. Believe it or not, all the tinkering and, the research I've done over on darknets and things like that with Tor and I2P has paid off in my day-to-day security engineer position because I know how to identify a lot of that traffic. My work with Monero is what's made me actually identify Monero miners inside of networks that I used to take care of when I was in the MSP days, and now have a little bit more idea of how to stop a lot of the malicious mining and things like that that goes on in the corporate networks and all that, where we can actually pull in the lists of the nodes and things like that. It's fun. Personally, I find System 76 really expensive for what you get. Well, they're boutique builds. You're paying for these companies like Tuxedo Computers, System 76. Thank you for the follow, NW Gamer. You're paying for these boutique builders, System 76, Tuxedo Computers, and there's a couple others that are escaping me right now. Like Purism, things like that, so that they can continue their work to improve the software, as well as they're making machines in smaller quantities and batches than, say, Lenovo, HP, Dell, where they get a lot better margins on a lot of the products that they have. So it's an economy of scale, as well as you're paying for them to develop the things that they do. In the case of like System 76, they make their own operating system. So the hardware that I pay for from System 76 goes into the software and development they're doing for Pop OS. So it actually helps them out quite well. I have both an M2 Pro MacBook and a 2012 and a Pro non-Retina. Yeah, I like the old MacBooks because you could upgrade them. My 2011 MacBook Pro, I think it's 32 gigs of RAM in it, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't really touched it in a while. It's over here somewhere as a doorstop. And it has a little Core i5 in it. It was given to me by my prior place of employment. They just let me keep the laptop. And you could also replace the DVD drive with a second hard drive if you wanted. You could also upgrade the hard drive inside of it. The second Apple went fully soldered was kind of when I swore off of their laptops because it became extremely expensive. So you used to be able to make a Mac more cost effective by buying the base model Mac for the CPU that you needed. And then what you would do is you would crack it open, drop in some crucial memory or whatever that was compatible with Mac, to the amount that you needed. So like the MacBook Pro 2011 that I had supported officially 16 gigs, found out it could actually support 32. So I dropped 32 in. I came with like an 80 gigabyte, 5400 RPM hard drive. So I dropped a 500 gigabyte SSHD, a solid state hybrid disk. Which has 500 gigs of space, and then it has like whatever amount for SSD caching. So, and remember, this was when SSD was really, really expensive. So I was able to upgrade a laptop completely on Apple. So I probably could walk out the store altogether with the upgrades and everything, Apple Care, all that, 1700 bucks. It was pretty much on par with what you would get for an expensive laptop as it was if you were getting from a Windows or Linux side anyway. So that was when it actually made sense. When they had you solder all the components in was when I kind of said, nope, this is not going to make sense. This is going to make it more expensive. And it felt more like Apple was doing it so that they could actually retain the margins that they make on a lot of their things. The Apple tax, where you now have to spec out the laptop to have exactly what you want, and if you want to upgrade, you got to replace the entire board. Seen some people with Docker set up with a million things. What do you recommend starting out with? Can't ever watch your show, too much lag. Well, if you go over to the Twitch side of things, Twitch performs a little bit better. TikTok gets kind of stupid, I notice, with a lot of things, because I'm looking at the frame drops and all that. Twitch tends to do a lot better with these things. Yeah, go to the purple app or the app with the red play button. There's simulcast to that. But the one with the purple play button, I mean the purple, quote bubble thing, that one's gonna give you a better view. I do have the chat pulled in for all of these, so I can see all the chat. Oh yeah, somebody was asking, Zealand, isn't Blue Sky made by the original Twitter creator? So it's yes and no. So originally Twitter planned to actually create or change. I notice you. It's just Deb over on there. You're on all three platforms. You're my mod. So Twitter originally had the idea under Jack Dorsey's leadership that they wanted to decentralize and become what Blue Sky is today, where essentially Twitter wasn't the one holding all of your data. They were trying to build it out so that they could decentralize this. And that's where Blue Sky started originally, was as a research project under Twitter. Now, around the time, I don't know the exact timeline, but around the time that Twitter was sold off to Elon Musk, they were spun out into their own entity. So there's a team of about 20. I don't know what the timeline was of when they acquired those people and everything like that. They built out the Blue Sky Corporation. It's a public benefit corporation. It's not a nonprofit. It's a public benefit corporation, which is a for-profit corporation with interests to, help society or whatever the technical, not technical, but the legalese is for that. Look, I'm a tech guy. I can explain at least a little bit of this stuff. But don't look to me for those kind of things. So anyway, they spun out this corporation, and then they created this entire protocol called AT Protocol. AT Protocol is pretty much a fork of ActivityPub. ActivityPub is the protocol that is actually used by Mastodon, as well as Threads that they're building into for the Fediverse. So it has some relation to it. The difference is that ActivityPub, all of the components for decentralization are built into each individual server. So there's a lot of overhead there. So as each server federates to more connections, and servers, it has to have more connections. So what ends up happening is there's a lot more overhead and a lot more processing that's required. And then the database for all the posts that get, federated in are then, stored there. So there's a lot of, this is a pretty heavy server. To put this into perspective, out of my entire home lab and everything that I've built, my Mastodon server that I'm hosting is probably my most beefy and powerful. I have it under a managed host that manages a lot of these things, so I can scale it up very easily. I pay them a little bit of Bitcoin and call it a day. Anyway, so with ActivityPub, it's like I said, very heavy overhead. Now, with AT Protocol, what they did is they split the components out into different things. So you have the PDS, the personal data server, which is like bsky.app, where a lot of people are logging in. That's the server that hosts your personal data. But then they also have relays to relay all the data, and these are separate servers. And then they have the AppView servers, which is where you're, basically think of it as a light coming in from the relay, which is going to shoot everything like a fire hose. And it comes out like a prism, like a rainbow, separates it out into different colors. And imagine each of those colors is the view that you're going to have as a user based on your moderation preferences and things like that. So it's a little bit oversimplified for that. How beefy is your Mastodon server? I thought about running one off a Raspberry Pi. So you can do it off a Raspberry Pi. Let me be honest. You can do it, but I'm a decently well-federated server that I am federated to a few thousand other Mastodon servers. And I have about 2,400 followers, give or take, on the Mastodon server. So let me do some math here. Hold on. So the host that I use is Masto.host. You can do them very inexpensively. So I'm not affiliated with them. I am just saying this is what I use, and they've been working well for me. So on the low end of things, like say you're just trying to connect to a few servers, 2 processing threads, 2 gigabyte database, 20 gigabytes of media storage. That's good for about 5 active users. I'm somewhere here plus a few extra resource units. So let's do some math. Doing about $60 a month. 1, 2, 3 resource units. So I have about 24, 28, 32 processing threads with 32 gigabytes of database. And the media storage, though it's about 320 or so, or give or take, I'm only using about 160. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky. So you can follow me there. See? Blue Sky. Boom. I actually have more followers now on Blue Sky than I ever did on Twitter. There's actually a lot more engagement there, and I'm actually noticing the InfoSec community is doing pretty well. I have some amazing feeds. This is one of the things I really like about Blue Sky is you can have custom feeds. So like, what's cooking? I can go over here and I can see all the recipes like people are talking about and, food and all that because I like to get ideas. I got like a cybersecurity one over here so I can see all the different posts that hashtag cybersecurity. If I want to go to Linux and FOSS, I can see all the posts that relate to Linux and free and open source software. Or if I want to see things for the Microsoft security and identity, so I can see things like that. Or if I just want to see the posts that my followers are doing, or what are my mutuals up to? What are the journalists doing? Or if I want to see the U.S. government officials that are here right now. Now, this is another cool thing about Blue Sky is the labeler feature. So if you notice, I have a labeler I've subscribed to that actually tells me the top 3 corporate donors as well as PAC donors. You got 2 accounts on Blue Sky? Yeah, so one is my actual Blue Sky account. The other one is my Bridge account. So that is bridged to my Mastodon. So the one that's chiefgeek3d.com is my official account. That is the one that's going to be on Blue. Well, they're both my official accounts. This one's going to go direct to me. But then if you go to if you go to this, that's my Bridge account. So that one is going to be my Mastodon account. Make sense? My favorite feed is Good Lunch. It started off as a one-off joke, but ironically is a good feed. Yeah, you see a lot of that. But yeah, my Mastodon server is a little beefy. Rio, I want to set up my own firewall at home. Where to begin? So what I actually did, and this is actually what got me into my little road to learning cybersecurity, was pfSense. So I actually run this firewall to this day. Let me see if I can pull up the manual for you. So if you go to pfSense, here, let's get the pfSense main website, and then let's get the documentation. Go. All right, so pfSense, where are you on Blue Sky? I'm just chiefgeek3d.com. So if you go to my profile over here, search for chiefgeek3d.com. That is me. I've done domain verification to make my username my domain. So that's why I don't have like the chiefgeek3d.bsky.social or whatever that other people have. I actually did domain verification on my account. So that's how you know this one is a legitimate one, is this one's been verified to my DNS records. So back to the pfSense thing. So this is an open source firewall that you can actually use. Now there is OpenSense as well, but pfSense is going to give you more hands-on, nitty-gritty understanding of configuring a firewall and understanding security practices and everything like that. That's why I like this. So you can do this one of 2 ways. If you have a spare computer lying around with an Intel-based network interface card, you can plug that in, set it up, do all that. Or you can buy an inexpensive firewall here. So they have like a few over here. Let me see. Buy now. So they have the buy now, build your own. If you have a spare, computer, you can go through the documentation, figure that out. It's not too hard to figure it out. And of course, you can stop by the Discord server that we have so that you can learn more about that. You can get this little guy here as a basic firewall. Just bear in mind, if you do the full-on firewall features with IDS, IPS, all of that kind of stuff, you're going to get about 607 megabit per second throughput. But $189, not that expensive for, doing those kind of things. I think, what is it? You can go to the 2100 and do pretty well as well, or the 3100. They moved to the 4200. They used to have the 3100. But anyway, you can do all that. The the 4200 is kind of overkill for most because, as you can see, 8.61 gigabits per second of firewall throughput, more than what people are going to need. But 1100, 2100 for most people is good. Want to set it for learning purposes, of course, so no option to get one. So then, yeah, just build your own, like what I did. I had a spare server that I bought, and you get the Netgate installer here. Technically, you add it to cart and you buy it these days. But yeah, you get the image, then you can set it up. So you, yeah. Is it IPMI? No, not that one. Well, anyway, there's a way. Hold on. Let me see. Build your own. Yeah, so if you build your own, you can see the requirements here are not that much. I used to do this back in the days of the Core 2 Duo. So, like, you don't need a lot. Like, Core 2 Duo is kind of even overkill for this. Do you think it's worth accepting an offer of working a set of contract of 3 years for government for cyber post-grad? That's more of a personal decision. I'm going to be honest. Because I will be honest and say most cybersecurity positions, straight out of college, they're going to want several years of base IT experience. So if you can get a cybersecurity position, great. But be prepared, as I talk about in one of my videos. Let's see if I can pull this up for y'all. So on my YouTube, I have a video I made. What the hell did I call it? I referenced this so much, and I still don't even remember my name, the name of it. It is, yeah. Do you really need college or boot camps to get into IT and cybersecurity? You can watch that. That's my experience of basically how I got in, as well as other tips and tricks. About 20-minute video. It's great for anyone. That'll give you like different, points on how you can do it and everything like that. But one thing I will tell you is if you can get a job in cybersecurity without, the prerequisite experience, I mean, that's fine. But more than often, you're gonna need to embrace the suck for 2 to 3 years before they actually take you seriously for a lot of these jobs. But I would also say it's a double-edged sword to go straight into cybersecurity. And what I mean by that is you miss out on a lot of the other field experience that you would normally have. Going through the rigmarole of help desk, networking, things like that. And there's a lot of knowledge that you kind of you skip over for good or bad that could be useful later on in your career. Just saying. But yeah, back to the PFSense thing. There's a lot you can do with PFSense. Very inexpensive to set up. You just need a spare computer. You can do it on a virtual machine, but I would definitely recommend a spare computer route. I like having my firewalls on dedicated hardware. That's just my 2 cents when it comes to things. My particular's only 30. Yeah, well, the reality is you're not going to run into MikroTik very often in businesses. I've only in my entire MSP career run into it like 3 times. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying in terms of how you're going to, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to learn the same concepts to apply it to different hardware and everything like that, but I just haven't seen MikroTik nearly as often. Like if you're trying to do a corporate enterprise home lab, Cisco, Juniper, Aruba, those are probably going to be a lot more, not in your area. I've been around the country, buddy. I've been on several continents. But yeah, just followed you. I hate the Y in your name. It's to get you asking why. That's the whole point of it. Currently using an external screen on my laptop. Oh yeah. I mean, I've had to do that before with laptops to get things working. I, once upon a time, had a laptop that the main screen was broken, so I kind of used it as a desktop replacement and just plugged the monitor in. I mean, hey, look, if the rest of it's working and it's just a monitor, why not? course, that was because I was too lazy to replace the main screen. Eventually, I got around to doing that, but MS Sentinel or Splunk? That's gonna be a personal preference on things. The guy that has to replace. Oh yeah, that's the one from Discord. Okay, MS Sentinel or Splunk. MS Sentinel is the one I think that ties into Defender, correct? The Defender EDR. I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to do with things. I personally haven't tried the Microsoft Sentinel. I hear some people say good things with it. I hear some people complain about it. I haven't personally used it, so I cannot have an opinion there. I know Splunk is used quite a bit in businesses, but the licensing and operations and stuff like that can be quite expensive. So do with that as you will. But I think Splunk does have a open source version, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't gotten around to setting that up in my home lab. I've been wanting to do more things in my home lab, but there's so many things in my life that I've had to get around doing it. Oh yeah, I will I will get that to you as well this week. Sentinel 1 is hard to maintain. I haven't done Sentinel 1 personally. Again, I hear good things about it, and I hear people complain about it. The honest truth is there's no perfect security software out there. Everyone's going to like things and dislike things. It really depends on what your approach is. Thoughts on Windows 95? Windows 95 was great. Back, it was very it was very simple. It was this mix of DOS and everything. One of my first gaming computers was on Windows 95 as a kid. That was great. That and 98. XP was probably the best operating system in my honest opinion. Some people will say Windows 7, but those people never got to experience the greatness of Windows XP. Isn't Sentinel cloud-based and it's not just a SIM, it's a SOAR, depending on how you set it up? Well, the same thing could be said with CrowdStrike. A lot of these EDR, XDR solutions, it depends on how you configure it, to be completely honest. So they can have SIM, they can have SOAR. I know more about CrowdStrike having to deal with it on a daily basis, where they have these fusion workflows so you can automate certain things. But the most annoying thing with fusion workflows was they don't have a not statement. That is the one thing that miffed me because it messed up a lot of my ideas for automations that I ended up having to use the CrowdStrike API at work so that we could contain devices that were older, or not older, were last seen 30 days or more for the auto containment. So I wrote that script doing that using the CrowdStrike API because the fusion workflows didn't have the not statement. So it could be like, show me if you are older, show me if you have been seen within the last 30 days, but not show me if you haven't been seen in the last 30 days, if that makes sense. It's so weird how they did that. Like, they really didn't have any input from developers to understand the value of a not statement. Now, Torque, TORQ, probably one of my favorite automation platforms. I wish my work would pay for it, but it's a hard sell because it is expensive. Yeah, really great for a SOAR application. It could tie in and do a lot of those things. Also buying a Synology NAS, going to run some Minecraft servers on it. You better get one of the beefy Minecraft servers, because if you get the Synology like I have, which is the low-end rack mount version, that's not going to have a lot of horsepower. Just being honest with you. It may be worthwhile looking into exploring having a second computer or, yeah. You decide to get the one for $300? The $300 one, I think, isn't even enough power. You need, like, you need the proper server one. The one, I think, that has the Xeon CPU and stuff in it and all that. Don't get me wrong, Synology, great hardware. Love them as a NAS, but as running them as an independent server themselves, I'm not sure that's the best idea. Maybe worthwhile rolling your own box or getting, like, even, like, a basic, little nut computer like this. This is the Purism Librem. What the hell is it? I know it's a Server Pure from Start 9, which is a really great device. But this is by Purism. This is their Librem Mini. That's what it's called. This is an i7 and 32 gigs of memory and a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD in there. You can get very inexpensive little boxes to do all that stuff for you. So there's nothing wrong with those things. I ran a modded Minecraft server on a 2007 desktop with 4 gigs of RAM. Yeah, you can do that. But I'm just saying with Synology, your results may vary. Because remember, it's doing all the other things on top of it. And if you start using that NAS as a NAS on top of running the Minecraft stuff, and then you start doing S3 backups with hyper backup and things like that, when you start using it as a proper box, yeah. But as I said, results will vary. I mean, you can try it out. Just mine, yeah. Do you have experience with the Steam Deck? I'm considering getting one. So I have been thinking about getting a Steam Deck, but it's one of those things where I keep coming back and I keep saying, "Hey, how can I justify this?" And I don't really do gaming on the go. I would like it as a portable Linux computer, but then the issue becomes, all right, for me to use it as a full-on Linux computer, because you can do that, I'd have to carry around a keyboard with it and a mouse, or at least a keyboard with it. And then that means it's a very clunky device for me to carry around to use for a terminal device and everything like that. Not to mention, if I'm on the go, I'm going to have to use cellular data. So I would have to then hotspot to my phone or attach a cell modem and things like that. So the Steam Deck, I'm not hating on it at all. Just for my purposes, doesn't make sense. I don't really do gaming on the go. Now, the device that I am actually looking at getting, which from my understanding, if Crowd Supply keeps up on their, you know, promises and everything, I'm looking at getting the MNT Pocket Reform. I've showed this several times. I'll show it again. This is the device that I'm actually looking at getting for my mobile Linux needs. This right here. The MNT Pocket Reform. So, it's a little mini laptop, mechanical keyboard, 7-inch screen, anodized aluminum case, completely open source and right to repair friendly. I've been following this entire development over Mastodon. Really great device. So out of the box, NXP IMX8M Plus, which is a 4-core ARM CPU with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Pretty good CPU, at least for what I'm going to be needing with. They're eventually going to have the RK3588 CPU. It can do some gaming. It can. So, someone has managed to... So, it's for ARM, obviously. So, there are games that can play on it. Like, you can get Open Morrowind to work on it, apparently. Like, Elder Scrolls 3. You can get Game Boy emulator games, things like that. Doom. Of course you can play Doom. But I'm not getting it primarily for that reason. So, one of the things that I love about this is it's got USB-C and power delivery for the main, data and everything, but of course, 2 USB-C ports, micro SD, micro HDMI, and an IX industrial port, which means it has Ethernet through that. I have to use an RJ45 adapter. So over here, you have the CPU module. It's upgradable. It's not soldered in. So you can upgrade the CPU at any time. I'll talk to you about that more in a little bit. And you got a slot for an NVMe SSD, as well as the eMMC that's built into the board. Plus, over here, you have an optional M.2 slot, so you can actually do, if you notice right here, that's a SIM card slot. So that can allow me to have a cell modem built in. So that's one of the reasons why I'm looking at this, because it will have a lot of my stuff for on the go. Now, as far as the upgrades go into it, is it similar to the framework? Sort of. But I would say they're even more open source. So, what is it? MNT Re? Yeah. MNT Research. This company is devoted to open source to the max, to the point that if you ever look at their socials, they're not on Facebook and all of that stuff. They're not on Twitter. You have to go to Mastodon to actually see all their stuff. They have a whole line of different things. They even have GPUs for the Amiga. So this is one of the upgrades they have for the MNT Pocket Reform. You can buy these right now, but they have a few month lead time because they're still building them out. Right now, they come with the A311D or the RK3588 module. I eventually want to upgrade to the RK3588 with 32 gigs of RAM, but the issue that they have is the MX8M Plus and A311D CPU cards that you can install have Wi-Fi built in. Thank you for the follow, Cool Cadet. They have Wi-Fi built into them, whereas the RK3588, the current version, doesn't. Now, MNT has said they're going to have a version coming out possibly within the next... No, they are working on it. It's just going to take some time, but possibly within the next couple of months, that's going to have an RK3588 with Wi-Fi built in, so that way I don't have to... let me show the picture here. So I don't have to... Oh, wait, this is that one. So I don't have to use this slot here for the cell as a regular Wi-Fi. And in fact, I have a Quectel, I think it's called, 4G modem I'm waiting to install. So... yeah, MNT or Pocket Reform with Kali sounds like a weapon. You could use it, like, in that form if you really want to. I'm probably just going to be running it with straight Debian as a little note-taking device and doing a lot of things on the go. Because 9 times out of 10, when I need a laptop to pull out, I'm doing it for notes. I'm pulling out a little video. I'm watching a movie. I don't need anything major. But a little device like this that I can literally shove in my pocket of, like, my cargo pants, perfect. So I actually had a Surface that I used to run on Ubuntu. But I'm really loving these little, like, CyberDeck kind of like computers these days. It just fits more of my style and my niche of things. So I've been looking forward to that for a little over a year. They read NFT. No, MNT. MNT, not NFT. MNT. Mike November Tango. Framework is working on a RISC-V powered laptop. Yeah, I heard about that. I would like to try it out, but the RISC-V is... I don't have issues with RISC-V. I really believe in them. They still need to mature the ecosystem around support of things. That's it. I don't have $2 to drop on that. Just dropped 4K on a 14-inch laptop for personal stuff since my Mac work Mac is huge. Jeez. 4K? I think my most expensive laptop was $2,500, and several hundred of that was the 3-year warranty on it. Also heading to Virginia in a few weeks to pick up about 500 laptops. Well, why don't you swing on through and drop a couple off to me? Talking Australian dollars. Ah, I gotcha. Meet me in Alabama. Nobody wants to go to Alabama. Are you on Blue Sky? Yes, I'm on Blue Sky. You can look up chiefgeek3d.com. That is my username over there. How energy efficient do you think RISC-V will be? RISC-V will be far more efficient than ARM. That's already been proven. There's an old article I saw from Ars Technica. I may be able to find that article, or if not better. RISC-V energy efficiency. Hold on. Hold up. Where? Ah, okay. This is a 4-year-old article, so there's been advancements since then. Okay? You should put Blue Sky in your bio. It is. Go to the links. Here. I'll show you this. Alright, so if you go to TikTok.com and you click the links there. 1 second. Why are you not loading up my oh yeah, I forget the desktop version. It's kind of weird. Yeah. So if you go to the TikTok, you click the links there. You get this page here. And then you see right there, Skeet Me on Blue Sky Social. That's it. It's right there. All of my links to all of my socials are there. You want to follow me on Twitch, YouTube, Mastodon, there, Threads until I delete it. Even my Pixel Fed, which I need to do more stuff on my Pixel Fed for. My Matrix, my Discord, everything's there. Okay? That's all there. Is Risk 5 the future? Absolutely. So, what's Blue Sky? Is it good? Yeah, Blue Sky is another microblogging social media network similar to Twitter and everything. It gives me old Twitter vibes, but in better way. We'll talk about that in a sec. I'll get back to it. Let me talk about this before we go down another ADHD tangent. So, Risk 5 CPU claims record-breaking performance per watt. Now, remember, this is from 4 years ago. Okay? So, there's been even more improvements since then. This is where they've tested it out. So, the one thing you have to know is that in order to test CPUs to get energy efficiency, because it's not really a one-to-one per se, is they had to create another measurement, of CPU efficiency. They call them chord marks. I forget which group actually created this, but anyway. So they did this, but as you can see, iterations per second per watt, so higher is better. This is the Apple M1. Now, I know you're on the M4 right now. This is 4 years old. This was the Risk 5 CPU. At 3 gigahertz, more energy efficient. Now you have to overclock it a little bit to 4 1/4. And, of course, then it drops down, but it's still a lot better than all these other CPUs in terms of power efficiency. So, this is performance per watt. Now, as time goes on, this is only going to get better because there's going to be more optimizations, more improvements, and other things that go along with it, just like anything. If you look at the old Intel CPUs, they used to be very, very power hungry compared to the current ones for how much power they are actually having under the hood. Same thing with AMD. I'm waiting for a day that they can make a CPU that only takes like 1 watt every 3 days. You'll have to go back to the Nokia 3310 days. I remember those cell phones. We charged them once a week. They were great. I also witnessed the Nokia 3310 get dropped by my friend when he was actually having a phone call at the urinal and break the urinal. Those phones are indestructible. What window manager is this? This is just the Pop! OS GNOME, because I'm on 2204 from Pop! OS. I'm a pretty basic bitch when it comes to things. I just need stability. I like what Pop! OS does. So yeah, there's a lot of efficiency when it comes to Risk 5. The issue right now when it comes to Risk 5 is, of course, the app support and ecosystem around it. But then again, that was the issue with ARM a little over a decade ago when we started using it with the Raspberry Pi and things like that. And we see nowadays you can do so much with an ARM CPU that there are even enterprise versions of servers that have ARM on them that are able to run perfectly fine for a lot of different workloads. So with that being said, give it time. there is GPU support already with RISC-V and everything, and there's a lot of big vendors that support it, like NVIDIA. Google's even a backer of them, IBM, and a few others, if I recall correctly. There's a lot of big backing behind it that want to see RISC-V succeed, because the one problem that you have with ARM and Intel, the x86 specifically, is you have to pay a licensing fee to the companies that hold the licenses there. So AMD, even though they make x86 CPUs, still has to pay Intel a licensing fee to make those CPUs. The same thing with VIA, who also makes x86 CPUs. Anyone that makes an x86 CPU has to pay a license to Intel. And the same thing with ARM CPUs. They have to pay to whatever company it is. That's why there's this big hullabaloo, I think it is, with Qualcomm possibly getting their ability to make CPUs pulled and all that, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, RISC-V being an open source instruction set architecture, I think that's what it stands for, ISA. Let's call it an ISA. Being open source, as long as you can find a fabricator to make the design to the specs that you need, you can continue making it. So you don't have to worry about the issue of licensing the ISA itself and then developing the CPU. You can take the open source ISA and then develop the CPU that you need. And then, let's say the fabricator goes defunct, you can take the entire source of this ISA, bring it to another fabricator, and have them make the same CPU with everything. So for industrial cases, this is really great because they no longer have to worry about these bigger companies and being beholden to their schedules of everything. If they want to have an enterprise level hardware and industrial, hardware pushed out forever with the same specs, they can do so. But yeah. I think my dinner got bitched after eating and everything because my mother wants people to feel bad for her. Wah. I know that feeling. My mother was similar to that. Hey, Zach, how's it going, buddy? I wish it was still the time where we could take off the CPU from computers and not soldered on. Yeah, I do wish that a lot of laptops and stuff still allowed you to replace the CPU and everything, but they are soldered on in most cases. In desktops, they're not. I understand the reasoning for that a little bit is because with soldering, you do save some space, because if you do have to do like an LGA landing grid array where you have the pins on the pad and then it pushes in and then you have the little dots on the CPU, or you have the pins go into the little socket, you still have like a little bit of space you have to worry about for actually slotting the CPU in, whereas if you solder components in, you can shave a few millimeters. The problem is that, we're getting away from right to repair to make things more sleek and pretty. Take what you will with that. Does Linux support RISC-V? Yeah. Why is x86 so inefficient? Well, very simply put, x86 is literally built upon old archaic infrastructures. You had like the the x86 is compatible with all CPUs back to the original Intel 8086, which I believe was made in the 1970s. Intel 8086. So the Intel 8086, yep, 1978. 1976 to 1978. So this little guy right here was basically more or less the first 86 processor. x86 16-bit. This little guy right here. So that is the birth of where the quote-unquote x86 starts, because it goes from 8086 to, I might be skipping a few over here. You had the 286, the 486, the 686. You had all these different ones, and the x86 is backwards compatible with all of these because, well, in terms of industry, you don't want to change too much. And things have been a lot different than where we could, switch between MIPS and RISC and all these different, CPUs and all this kind of fun jazz. But the x86 is basically inefficient because it's still compatible with all the old stuff. And it's still got the flaws of all the old stuff too. Which is why I've always been saying, when it came to Apple should have never ditched the PowerPC CPU. They ditched PowerPC, which was a RISC CPU, went to Intel, all because they said PowerPC couldn't get to 3 gigahertz fast enough, then had the overheating issues with Intel because they kept a lot of the same form factor, but didn't follow Intel guidelines on thermal venting and all the things you needed to do to keep it cool, which bit them in the butt. And then they said, well, we're going to ARM. And the reality is, if they had stuck with IBM PowerPC pretty much, they kind of wouldn't have been in that mess. Yeah, vents are ugly, but they're functional. Is PowerPC still a thing? To an extent. The Xbox 360 used a PowerPC CPU. The PlayStation 3 used a PowerPC-like CPU called the Cell processor. Yeah, like, let me see. PowerPC. PowerPC. Apparently they're still active. I don't know who uses them. They're the Amiga. So they've been used in Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, GameCube, Wii, Wii U. So they're still used out there. Trying to see. Hold on. Reading this. So they do have support for Haiku. Oh, React OS, PowerPC no longer. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the IBM thing. Trying to see. Bandai used it. Microsoft, Xbox 360, and the Xenon CPU. GameCube, Wii U, Sony, and Toshiba for the cell processor inside the PlayStation 3 and other devices. Yeah, they were used for quite a while. I don't know anything that is, still using it today. Let's see what processors they have. Okay, so it looks like they're still used in some supercomputers, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah. They've been used in some supercomputers in the past. So there is still some use cases, but I haven't seen anything. Oh, here we are. IBM Power microprocessors. The Power 10 is the latest one, it looks like. Yeah, looks like a nice little beefy CPU. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Yellow Dog Linux was the one that was designed more for PowerPC CPUs. I have a question. I saw this old computer part on YouTube. I want to know if you know the part. It's called a vampire tap. Vampire tap. That sounds oddly familiar. Let me see if I can look at it. Wow. Yeah. There's, okay, yeah, vampire tap. Yeah, it's a way to passively listen into networks and everything. They're a thing. But honestly, what we would do today, this was a device that Colonel Dump showed me when I was at DEF CON 31 with him. He's got a TikTok on it for a while ago. We would these days use a device like this called a Shark Tap. So the way that this works is that you have your network pass through, just in, and then you have a tap. So this passively can listen to everything. So imagine you use Wireshark to listen to all the packets going through on this line. It's a really great diagnostic tool. So if you have issues and you're trying to see what's going on with the connection and everything, you can connect a laptop in line, or even a desktop, or whatever you want. And you could have Wireshark, and you could actually monitor all the packets going through. And you could start doing things like that. In the cable Ethernet days, actually, not really. this was 10 base 5. So this is still Ethernet, just really old Ethernet. I have good news. Australia did not pass its social media ban. Hold on. I don't know if you could hear the applause. Let me know if you could hear the applause, because I had to fix the audio things. It kind of broke. The stove dinged. Okay. Get that food. Don't let it burn. But yeah, anyway, so this is the device we would use these days. A Shark Tap to passively listen to networks and things like that. Of course, this only works for Ethernet. It does not work for fiber. There are ways to tap into fiber, but they're a lot more expensive and stuff like that. You're not really getting that kind of thing. You didn't hear it? God damn it. Hold on. That worked. Okay, hold on. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Nope. Broadcaster. Okay, so now the audio should be working again. Hooray. I'll have to do some troubleshooting with that, but at least, I think this should be working.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
They tried to rush it through, and one day the media really wanted it. You could tell they're still trying to accuse people, not for the bill, of harming the children of Australia. See, that's the one problem that I hate, is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And a lot of times I've seen this where people will try to push through the most egregious rights restricting bills under the guise of, we gotta protect the children. Look, I will, give you that. In some cases, there's some things we should do to protect children better. But at a certain point, you're just screwing over everybody. That's the reality of the things. And I always question anytime a politician says we need to do this to protect the children, because then I ask the question of, great, how does this protect the children, and what are the impacts to the people that aren't the children? And at what point is the responsibility for the safety of the children at the parents' responsibility and not the government's? Like, let me put it this way. You don't want your kids to be on social media? Don't give them access to things that can give them social media. And if you don't know how to restrict their access to it, there's plenty of companies out there that offer plenty of services. And I'm not by any means saying to spy on your kids and betray their trust and everything like that. You have to be open and honest with your kids too. Look, I'll be honest with you. My mother was a SEX education teacher at one point in her life. She was very open and honest with me about everything that, went on. I mean, hell, when I turned 13 years old, my bar mitzvah present was a Playboy subscription until I turned 18. from my mother. She also knew I liked to add a thing for Ava Mendez and would save any of the cutouts for her. From her. Yeah, she'd give them to me. Good mom in those regards. Before she kind of went down the rabbit hole. Not going to get down that. But anyway. Yeah, the parent lock built into a lot of modems. Have parental controls on things. Don't have your kids have the ability to install everything without parental oversight. There's a lot of things that you can do, and there's a lot of tech people out there that are more than glad to educate parents on how you can best protect your children, because we want to help protect children as well. But that really depends on the parent actually doing the job of a parent. And yeah. As a Gen Z, I wasn't allowed anything other than the Wii until 14. Yeah, I got a niece that's about 12 years old. Her mom just gave her a cell phone. And part of that reason was that her mom's working and going out and everything. And the only contact that she has on that phone is her family members, as well as myself. But she's a good kid. She's got a good head on her shoulders. But, she's 12, so we haven't told her everything. But her mother is eventually wanting me to expose her to the dark side of the internet. Not in the adult content sort of way, but this is the thing that can happen. This is what, why you should be careful with putting your information out there. There are bad people out there that, you're a good person that will take advantage of that. That kid is going to rule the world. Yeah, she just gave me the okay to teach her lockpicking, too. But, look. How your kid turns out is in a direct relation to your ability to be a parent. My parents, I don't talk to them for the past few years, may not be the best people, but they, I think, did a pretty good job. Look, we've had the arguments over years of, video games cause people to be more aggressive and everything like that. I've been playing Halo since I was a little kid when that first came out. Grand Theft Auto 3, all of that, beating them hookers up and, getting my money back in Grand Theft Auto 3 like we all did. I think I turned out pretty okay. And I would say that a lot of you probably done the same thing. I give a tablet with parental controls. Yeah, that's the other thing is I also think there's a problem where parents are just throwing devices to their kids and expecting the kids to be the nanny. I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's okay that, there's parents that don't want to spend time with the child, and instead of, doing the things appropriate to keep their attention where it should be, just hands them a cell phone. Just hands them an iPad or a tablet of some sort. That's not a good behavior. Give them a Lego set. Give them something constructive. When my niece was 9 years old, I got her the snap together circuit sets to teach her how to do circuits and everything like that. Keep their mind engaged. Don't just have them veg out to a screen. Because have you seen the parents that are talking about the Cocomelon issues? My first phone was a button phone. I think I've had it since I was 5. Chill parents. Yeah, the snap circuits are great. Yeah, have you heard about the issues of Cocomelon? Where it's basically a crack for babies? That's a real problem. That is a real problem. They've actually proven that it can stunt their growth and stuff like that mentally. There's been all these studies and everything where these kids will temper tantrums, things like that. It's like crack for babies. I'm not even joking. Look it up. Let's go through it right now. Hold up. Snoop Dogg made Doggy Land because he hated Cocomelon. I can believe that. Cocoa Melon, parents issues. There's a video I saw a while ago. Was this it? Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna watch this video. Check it out. Well, if I get my audio, that'll be great. Settings. Oh, well, F me. Bash. Let's do this. Bash opt reset pipewire. Okay, let's try the combined. I just did some updates on this, so I may have to reboot. Not a big deal. Okay. Hold up. Can you hear me now? There we go. NVIDIA broadcast just crapped out because I reset the whole thing. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright. So now, let us... You remove all packages on Pac-Man with Pac-Man QQ. Interesting. Alright, so... God damn it. Audio's not going through. Okay, I can hear it. Can y'all hear it? No. I know I just did some updates before I did this, so... What's a tech stream without tech issues? So I can hear it, but y'all can't hear it. Alright. Gives us a quick reboot. The good old unplug it and plug it back in. So 1 second. I will pull chat back up in a second. Tech stream without tech issues is a boring stream. Tell me about it. But on another note, you can see my nice, new mic plate. Ah, I got my microphone pimped out. Exhibit would be so happy. I just realized a bunch of you don't know that reference, and now I feel old. I feel really old now, making that. Have y'all seen Pimp My Ride? Yeah. That. Okay, so at least, some people in the audience have seen it. That's a good thing. They don't feel as old. All right, let me open up my chat again. Yeah, back when MTV actually had some decent content. But this is also, like, right around the, decline of MTV, because they started shifting away from music and then doing that. At Cosmic D or just Pop OS? That was just Pop OS. Alright, so... Yeah, before Teen Mom. Teen Mom is like when you can really plot MTV going completely downhill. Okay, so... Bash, opt, reset pipewire. Okay. Let's get settings. Let's see if this will work now. No audio for y'all, I presume. Hold on 1 second. I wonder if that was what... No. Welcome to the Tech Show, where everything decides to not work after an update. It was working great. Audio's low. Hold on. Nope. I love how this was working all this week. Then I do one Windows update, and it's just like, nope, we're not gonna do any of this. After Team Mom, people stopped submitting their songs, so I blame Team Mom. Yeah, it really did bring everything down. Okay, so let's bring up Carla and see if things are routing like they should. Okay, so there's a combined sync here. Combined output here. Going to that, that, and that. Yeah, one update screws everything. That is basically it in a nutshell. I love how this was working perfectly fine until that update. Okay, let's see. What kind of music does Chief Geek listen to? A little bit of everything. Hip hop, R&B, pretty much everything but country. What the hell? Okay, let's see. Your audio only. Outputting the audio. Let's just, for shits and giggles, try doing a little update here on the Linux box. Upgrade-Y. And then not that it should matter. Okay, that's not the right port.
Front, left.
Okay, now that's going out properly.
Front, left.
Okay, now it works. Flipped a bunch of buttons. There was no update. I don't know what the hell. It just started to work all of a sudden. I just flipped the button and Welcome to Tech, where we just flip a bunch of random switches. We don't know what the hell worked, and then we just say, yeah, we fixed it. We're a magician. Abracadabra. I don't know what the hell happened. I didn't do any updates. I rebooted the computer. It didn't work. All I did was I flipped them back and forth the interfaces and just hit like test on all of them. And then suddenly it's like, hey, we're going to work.
Oh, that's when I smack the shit out you. I smack the shit out. That's
Okay, anyway. Let's go to the Cocomelon thing I was talking about, now that we got that going. Cocomelon being cancer. Okay, so this video, for an understanding, is Cocomelon, the most evil channel on YouTube. course, we got ads. Because, you know, I don't pay for YouTube Red or anything like that.
Dr. World, be wonderful. Old Spice Gentleman Super Hydration Body Wash.
Come on, skip over.
24/7.
My son is almost 2 and I've been letting him watch Cocomelon, but now I had to get him speech therapy so I can get him to talk. There are hundreds and hundreds of anecdotes in which parents mention the exact same problem. The Cocomelon show is so insanely addictive, it's being compared to nicotine and causing developmental issues amongst the kids who can't stop watching.
See?
TV expert Jerica Sands calls it the most damaging show a child can watch, explaining the sneaky ways in which they make the show addictive. Firstly, there's the colors. Take for example the wheels on the bus.
Like I said, it's like crack for kids.
Yellow are all at maximum saturation, meaning they cannot be made any brighter, no matter how hard you try. Extreme saturation is normally used.
Apparently, Bluey's better.
As it's exciting, dynamic, and attracts attention.
Not using ad block. Well, I have it disabled because YouTube was having issues with ad blockers for a while.
In slot machines. Cocomelon puts
I just haven't re-enabled it.
Contrast, making them appear even more vibrant, which is different to, for example,
I'll put my kids on. There you go. See?
Instead blend together. Cocomelon's also different because it's highly repetitive. There's a reason they have 38 videos with over 1 billion views. A child's brain is wired to learn through repetition, so it feels right to them to watch the same thing over and over again. Cocomelon abuses this in almost every video. For example, in the Yes Yes Playground song, they pick a word to repeat 3 times in every sentence, pairing it with a subtly repeating background lullaby, keeping children hooked.
Bluey is surprisingly really good. I don't know. I don't watch it. The last thing I did kid-wise was Blue's Clues when I used to help out autistic children in my high school days.
Who doesn't see or hear anything else that's going on in the room. This is only exacerbated by Cocomelon subtitles, which have also been a heavy point of criticism. The letters are not educational. I can barely read them fast enough. It's simply another interesting element to capture your little one's attention.
Like I said, this is crack for kids.
To help make learning a fun and enjoyable experience for kids,
and not the fun kind.
That your children
hey,
are
no crack's fun. Just to be clear.
But people have argued that they're teaching.
They dropped an entire album and people went around tasking the British are coming, but with Kendrick just dropped.
Song, the baby refuses to brush his teeth, have a bath, put on pajamas.
Oh, Steve from Blue's Clues is bae. He's awesome.
Do so. Yet a TikTok user was critical, stating, "Anytime I'd ask my son to do a simple task, he'd say no, no, no. He's sitting there watching Cocomelon, which taught him no, 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 and to say no to me." On the topic of education, Jerica Stan stated, "These people don't give a shit about our children. They care about money. That's it. Your child's cognitive development in direct exchange for their wealth, and there's pretty good evidence."
Crack for your kids, like I said. Teach them bad habits.
Discovering their #1 focus is keeping children hooked. Cocomelon's data and analytics
crack for kids
constantly through YouTube numbers to determine exactly what resonates. Should a girl wear black jeans or blue jeans? Should the music be louder or softer? Should the bus be yellow or red? Yellow is the answer, as they use a darker method to ensure that they're correct. Cocomelon has a dedicated Distractatron room in which once a month children are brought here one at a time and shown a handful of episodes to figure out exactly which parts of the shows are engaging and which are tuned out. Next to the TV playing Cocomelon, there's a second screen which plays a continuous loop of banal real-world scenes. A guy pouring a cup of coffee, someone getting a haircut, each lasting about 20 seconds. Whenever a youngster looks away from the Moonbug show to glimpse the Distractatron, a note is jotted down. We can see what they're looking at.
That is really creepy, like how they're just like trying to figure out how to program the kid, basically.
Isn't the primary goal. Keeping kids' attention is, and this is proven by Cocomelon's most addictive element, rapid camera cutting. It's crazy how many times the frame changes on Cocomelon. It's the same type of...
And this is like one of the issues I had when I like looked at Cocomelon one day, because I was, you know, watching a friend's little kid watch it. There's no educational content with it. Like, whereas with Blue's Clues and Dora the Explorer and stuff like that, it would actually have kids go through things that could intellectually engage them. Baby Einstein, things like that. Your kids need to be stimulated, just like your dogs. Your dogs need to be stimulated too. Otherwise, then you get dumb kids and dumb dogs. Being honest here, you want to give them a lot of the tools to keep them intellectually curious, and this just feels like crack for kids.
Addicting behavior that we experience on a TikTok binge. It's the quick change of frame that releases that dopamine and makes the videos addicting to watch. Count the seconds between a change of frame. Well, TikToker the Circus Brain did exactly this. He firstly counts the changes on My Little Pony, concluding there's about 6 seconds between each cut. He then tested a Cocomelon.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.
Jesus.
2, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
In her video, The Nightmare That Is Cocomelon, Semantics draws a similar conclusion. She found that 96% of the shots in Baby Shark were shorter than 2 seconds. She then compares 4 different animated shows, again finding Cocomelon has the shorter shots.
The longest shot on a Cocomelon video was 6 seconds. The longest shot on Arcane was 8 seconds. The longest shot on Bluey was 27 seconds. And the longest shot on Encanto was 18 seconds.
Which, when combined with every other element, creates some terrifying statistics.
Of course, I wouldn't expect you to watch Cocomelon unless you had to watch kids.
Infant normal video
Kids for
content,
kids.
they'll focus on the screen just
But it's like
11%
crack for
of the
kids.
time. However, when the video is instead switched
But this goes into the point that
their screen engagement
parents need to
skyrockets,
actively
74%.
be involved into what the kids are watching and doing and everything, instead of just handing them off to a device or a software to be the parent. You've got to be the parent ultimately. You've got to view the content and everything that you're putting in front of your kid and see, is there any educational value with this kind of shit? But, like, this is mind-numbing. This is crack for kids.
Or produces stories such as this. I used to volunteer.
Crack makes you hyper and productive. This is more like heroin.
And all of the tots stopped what they were doing, put down.
It is a female hero.
Remained fixated on the screen for the duration of the video. It was
my niece. No, no.
YouTuber Cybersecurity shared his own.
Her mom obviously was smart enough to never let her watch that kind of stuff.
His 2 younger cousins, who both completely refused, and instead spent all day glued to.
It was another friend that had their kid watching this, and I kind of pointed out, like, this is melting my brain. I can only imagine what this is doing for your kid.
You could be waving your hand right in front of his face, and he wouldn't move.
See what I mean?
Scary. This was also discovered by Sarah Mills 98, who explained when the Cocomelon addiction is so real that my 1-year-old can navigate the TV to turn it on by himself. However, nothing shows the addiction better than the Cocomelon TikTok trend. Parents will play the show's intro loudly and video their kids sprinting toward the television, where you can witness their mood change instantly. The New York Times journalist found
that's kind of creepy.
The kid in the Distractotron had shown up in
Did
the
she watch Blue's Clues? I'm pretty sure she
which
did.
ended the second he heard the Cocomelon theme song. It was no surprise to Wheeler, the head of research. 99% of kids, he said.
Oh yeah, kids have definitely been angry for putting it off. That's why I say this is like a drug.
They're like, life is okay.
So, funny story. I like Thomas the Tank Engine growing up as a kid. Because Thomas is, you know, awesome. And I hated Barney the dinosaur. I did. Legitimately. I hated Barney the dinosaur. My mom used to threaten me with putting on Barney the dinosaur and making me watch it if I was a bad kid. My mom would tell me, I would literally yell out, "No purple dinosaur!" Like, yeah. Barney was the threat when I was a kid, apparently.
All is good with the world. Obviously, there's a reason for this. Cocomelon is so hyper-stimulating that it actually acts as a drug.
See?
What happens when you take the drug away? Young children experiencing symptoms of addiction and withdrawal, obviously leaving them completely dysregulated. TikTok user ThePoff1 filmed what
I
happens
hate
when
you.
push
You
it
hate
away,
me. Let's get
explaining
together,
how it's
Ann.
unsolvable for at least 10 to 15 minutes after, adding in the description, Cocomelon meltdown is legit. Once you have a taste of the cocoa, it's hard to break.
That's why I say it's like a drug addiction.
This Reddit user had experienced even worse. My husband and I have been worried about our child. I can slowly see how she'd throw violent tantrums at home and in church whenever she'd get bored and would want to watch the show. Her behavior changes the moment she watches
Okay, while you're talking about killing Barney, have y'all ever seen the movie Death to Smoochie with Robin Williams? If not, you will love that movie.
Watches the show, and she will not even eat her meals if she wouldn't watch it. After these tantrums end, kids can experience a general discomfort in the speed of everyday life. The more they watch the show, the more their
Yes, Death to Smoochie.
brain begins to expect this intense level of stimulation.
Basically, Cocomelon overstimulates their brains so much that everything
that's
else
it.
seems slow and boring in comparison.
However, the potential consequences get much worse than this. As mentioned at the start, it was the cause of a child's speaking problems, with a notable reply reading, "Same thing happened with my daughter too. She's 4 but can't speak properly. She knows the words, but she does not like to frame the sentence.
The video gameplay to keep
She's been
attention.
watching these Cocomelons or such other stuff for
Look, man,
years.
they got their drug, I got mine.
Over on Reddit, a speech-language pathologist explained, screen time in general is linked with speech delays for a variety of reasons, but Cocomelon is excessively bad. Firstly, unlike other TV
I need my
shows
fix,
or
man.
movies,
I need
it
my
doesn't
fix.
have a story. It's just very short clips with poorly written songs. The kids aren't able to follow the plot, learn vocabulary, and see the resolution of a conflict, supported by infant specialist Meg Fora.
And the problem with fast-paced TV programs is that we find that little one's language development is slower.
On the Agents of Speech YouTube channel, this is again confirmed.
The main problem with watching videos on the internet is that they don't know how to use the language that they learn.
But he adds that 4 to 5 hours of screen time per day can make a toddler completely non-verbal. 5 hours is obviously a lot of time, but in Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, researchers discovered that 5-year-olds who watch more than 2 hours of TV a day
I need my game under the video, man. I need my fix.
and were 7.7 times more likely to show symptoms of ADHD. These screen times might be even lower for Cocomelon specifically, because as explained by Jerica Sands, not all screen time is created equal. A child who just watched 30 minutes of Cocomelon and a child who just watched 30 minutes of Trash Truck will look like a very, very different child. Thankfully, here lies a simple solution.
Yeah, this stuff is bad.
My 2-year-old is speech delayed and addicted to Cocomelon. Switched to Miss Rachel 2 days ago, and he's already saying more words.
That's who it was, Miss Rachel. That's what I remember my friends were switching over to, and were getting a lot better responses with their kids. I couldn't remember what it was. Look, I don't have a kid.
And hasn't had any tantrums.
I just have
In fact,
friends
shared an
and
almost
family with
identical
kids.
Anecdote. My 8-month-old was obsessed with Cocomelon and having bad tantrums, so I cancelled Cocomelon and only let her watch Miss Rachel, and she said her first word within the first 3 days of watching. Clearly, parents are able to simply change the channel, but not before leaving Cocomelon a massive amount of dislikes. They've therefore earned the title the absurdly popular kid show parents hate, and Cocomelon has actually responded to the criticism that explain our
And it's not even in the great way of like South Park when parents hated this, but kids loved it because we were learning things.
shows are not intended to replace outdoor playtime or playdates. They have a place in children's entertainment time, and as with food, exercise, etc., it comes down to each parent to find the right and appropriate balance for their children. Our responsibility is
I
ensuring
watched
that the
hours of
quality
Teenage
the
Mutant Ninja
content
Turtles.
that we
Oh, I
produce
love
is
them too.
beneficial for the development of a child's cognitive and soft skills. It is worth adding that our social media communities are filled with stories of
Wasn't
parents
allowed
who
to watch South
experience
Park because it was
firsthand
inappropriate.
how Moonbug
Well, my
content
parents were just
helps
better
their
than yours.
children.
I don't know what to tell you.
Cocomelon does have a crazy amount of supporters, but it's obvious that some of them are simply ignoring the downside.
Although I stopped watching South Park like a few years ago, just because it kind of like,
sentence,
I don't
she
know,
expresses her wants through
not a
phrases.
popularity for me.
But
What's
is
up,
it
Fish DLL?
Cocomelon's responsibility to ensure that babies are talking? Well, no. People love blaming cartoons and games for raising children, and not the shitty parents that don't step in
Input
and just
pass,
stop
but
them
not
from watching
watch
so
South Park.
much. Cocomelon is actually a really sad symbol of parents giving their children tablets.
See, that's what I
instead of
said.
actually parenting and interacting with them. Ultimately, parents are the people who choose how much their child consumes.
Get training for a new career. At
But
Universal
ultimately,
Institute, we
yeah, Cocomelon, horrible for kids. If you know anyone that has kids and they're letting them watch Cocomelon, yeah, don't. Just switch them over to Miss Rachel and everything like that. It's horrible for kids, but yeah, it's like crack for kids. I don't want a UTI. Universal Technical Institute. Not even my 3-year-old sister likes Cocomelon, but she likes Bluey. Good. Good. You know, like Bluey, whatever, those kind of things. I watched it when my brother was babysitting me back the same with Bravest Warrior. So I remember I was like 9 years old or so when Jurassic Park came out. My parents let me watch that, and there's this funny picture somewhere. I don't have it. My mom probably has it somewhere, but I'm not going to get it, obviously. Where my 13-year-old cousin was scared with the T-Rex, and I was covering his eyes and apparently saying, "It's okay, I'll tell you when the scary part's over." I was the weird kid that liked killer clowns from outer space and all that shit. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, my parents, you know, seemed to raise me okay. But then again, you know, what was it? I was like 7 or 8 years old, I think, when my mom introduced me to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Let's do the time warp again. My mother didn't realize Killer Clowns from Outer Space was a comedy. Like, I also remember, so, like, for those of you that weren't aware, 1990s and, like, early 2000s was this time when people were, like, there's the Christian craze, you know, like the satanic panic and all that kind of stuff. I had Doom. I was the cool kid with Doom, okay? I was playing that as a kid. And my mom, like, I remember my mom's, like, Christian friends with that. Like, how can you let your son play that? And he's like, he's shooting demons on Mars or wherever. Like, what's bad about that? And then there was the whole Halo thing. When Halo came out, my mom got me, no, my dad got the Xbox, pissed off my mom with that. But then she let me get Halo when that came out. And she was talking to me because, you know, like a Good Morning America had the whole thing about Halo and how it's creating violence and all that. And she's like, so what is this game about? And I'm like, you're a Master Chief in the military. The United, you know, Marine, whatever was, I couldn't remember. UNSC. And I'm like, and you're killing aliens. She's like, you're not killing other people. I'm like, no, you're killing aliens who are trying to kill you. And then there's this other race called the Flood that just wants to kill everything. And she's like, okay, cool. I think she had more pushback about Grand Theft Auto 3, but is like, I don't think my kid's gonna be hot wiring cars and beating up hookers and, you know, all that. I think we're fine. Hell, I remember when my best friend had to get knee surgery. He was like 13, 14 years old. He had a football injury or anything. He was hopped up on pain pills, and they had a PlayStation in the hospital room, and he was so high on pain pills, he was just doing donuts in Grand Theft Auto for like 45 minutes straight. I remember this. Saints Row. I played that one. I should play that one. I was playing GTA 5 in story mode and online at 8. Holy shit, I'm old now. GTA 3 release date. I need to check this. 2002. God damn! 2001 for PlayStation 2. I'm old. I had zero pushback on GTA 3. It was an elementary graduation gift. Don't know if that was supposed to be good. But yeah, like I remember Grand Theft Auto 3 and, you know, that whole thing when, you know, like you would find the hooker, you get health from them, and that's how you get your 125 health bonus and stuff like that. I was 2 years old when GTA 3 came out.
That's when I smack the shit out you. I smack the shit out you.
But yeah, There's a lot of great games and everything growing up, and I'm really having a hard time finding great games these days. It feels like they've just been rushing a lot of games out there and everything in terms of story and everything. I'm not even sure, given the way that studios are going. It feels like to me like American studios are dropping the ball on so many different games right now. I was watching gameplay of Veilguard. I may eventually play Dragon Age Veilguard, but it's like the acting and all that kind of looks so bad. Wait, what did the bot say? Now a verse from our collective tale. In Chief Geek 3D's chat, nostalgia reigns, Bluey love and Barney disdain, Coco Melon withdrawal a common pain, while Kendrick drops albums like rain, gamer postures and TMNT marathons, ADHD confessions and South Park bans, killer clowns deemed comedy gold, as GTA tales are old and retold, tech talk mixed with childhood shows, Turkey Day cometh, the streamer's pros. Did it just make a whole freaking poem? You know, like, one of these days, we should, like, with all the people that are in the ads and everything like that right now, I'm gonna, like, pop out in, like, a banana suit or something like that. We should make that happen. Or a hot dog costume. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Just, like, come back and they'd be like, what the hell? Should do that. Looks like game of the year. I play none of those games. So, yeah. I am looking at, we'll wait a few seconds for this. 2, 1. So, I am looking at playing, I do not want to see your banana. Not that banana! It'd be a banana suit. Should have ended the verse with the streamer's pose. I don't know. It's a funny little bot that I added in so that it does fun things. What's up, Bedrock? But, I don't know why I'm tired. I slept like 10 hours or so. This is not Dan Dan. Please don't banana. But, yeah, like, I've been looking at the video games and everything like that. And I've been looking at possibly playing Stalker 2 in the near future. But I also want to play like Dragon Age Veilguard to see if it's as bad as everyone says. I don't know. It's been like one of those things where I don't know if the hate is justified. Because it feels like with a lot of these games, people are making political agendas around video games when I just remember people were like, hey, let's have a great video game and let's judge the game by, you know, the story and everything like that. Like, play Killer Clown video game. Is there a Killer Clown video game? Oh, there is! Ah! The hilarious asymmetrical horror game is tons of fun. Huh! Let me see. Killer Clowns. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game. Yeah, we can take a look at that in the near future. Doesn't require all that much. Yes, there is. I kept getting ads for it. Kept getting ads for it where? On this stream, or? You have to understand, like, I am so out of the loop with a lot of video games and everything because my ads are so tailored to tech and everything. Yeah, we can definitely play that in the near future. But I also want to get through like Fallout and everything like that as well. It's just one of those, like, I don't have enough time. I do think that Friday we may have a Black Friday stream. In terms of I firmly do not support Black Friday. I used to be a retail worker at one point in my career, and I firmly do not believe in businesses being opened at the butt crack of dawn, forcing people to be separated from their families, and basically during a time when you should be spending it with your family. Because I remember when I had to cut my own Thanksgiving short several years because I had to be at work early in the morning, and it was the dumbest thing. I remember I worked at Staples. Staples. Who the hell is going to go to a Black Friday early in the morning at Staples? No one. I'll tell you that. Because the only people that actually went to Staples early in the morning just happened to be people that were, doing office work and would get paper and paper clips and pens and the usual stuff. I remember in the several years that I worked Black Friday, there were at most 6 people that came in the hours before we normally would be open. I actually went to my manager at one point, and I told them straight up, you realize the store lost money keeping us open. We had 6 customers or so that came in early, and you had to pay all of the employees to be here early. Not to mention, they also started doing the whole like, oh, we're going to, be open on Thanksgiving Day. That's even worse, in my opinion. Retail shouldn't be open on Thanksgiving Day. A grocery store, I can see the point of that being open on Thanksgiving Day. An office supply store, I don't see the point in that. A video game store, I don't see the point in that. Best Buy, Micro Center, all of that, I don't see the point in that. And the only reason I ever went to a Micro Center on Black Friday was literally I needed a piece of hardware to repair my computer. But I waited until the afternoon because I was not going to be around with a bunch of the people. I got my piece that I needed to fix my computer, and I went on my merry way. But I do not believe in Black Friday. I do not believe in, all this. And the honest truth is, have you ever looked at the actual sales that go on? The actual sales that happen during Black Friday are often a lie. If you look at a lot of the products that are like, hey, yeah, we have a massive sale on things. No, they don't. Those are probably the same sales they do throughout the year. They're not that massive of a sale. They just market it in such a way. And sometimes what they'll actually do is they will spike the price of the product several weeks before the sale. So that way they can then say that they have a massive 30% sale. That's the honest truth. You could look it up if you don't believe me. There are so many sneaky tactics that they do to make you think that you get a good deal when you don't. You want my advice when it comes to getting a good deal for, the holidays and everything for your loved ones? Buy the gifts several months in advance. Don't wait until Black Friday, last minute bullshit for this consumerism and all that. You want to get gifts? You know what little Timmy's wanting months in advance. Buy them up. My mother would buy. So let me give this very clear here. Like, Hanukkah is not generally a holiday you actually give gifts. It's more of the Americanized version. But my mother, for the gifts that she had to give for birthdays, holidays, everything, she'd buy those months in advance. So the gifts that she would give around Hanukkah and Christmas for friends and stuff like that, she'd already have that knocked out in June and July. And then just store them in the closet or the attic. She already had them months in advance. Like, there was the rare exceptions where it's like, oh, there's a video game that, I wanted to get for Hanukkah or something like that. There's those rare exceptions, as you know. But the gifts were bought months in advance. And that's how you should actually do it. When the gift that you want to get somebody is already on sale, go for it. You're not going to save all that much more money when you're at Black Friday. Cyber Mondays may be a little bit more realistic, because Cyber Monday, you're at least just sitting there at a computer clicking a button. That's okay with me. Cyber Monday. F this Black Friday crap. And you know why it's called Black Friday? You want to honestly know why it's called Black Friday? Because that is the day when most businesses get their sales numbers in the black for the entire year. All marketing BS. And brick and mortar stores are starting to decline as well. So, in all honesty, if you care about your loved ones, don't spend it on Black Friday and be like, well, we make such great memories as we get pepper sprayed and elbowed in the face, and Grandma went to the ER because she got a black eye. Spend those Fridays eating leftovers from Thanksgiving. Enjoy the football game. Enjoy whatever time you have with your family without consumerist bullshit. This has been a PSA from Chief Geek 3D. But yeah, seriously, not a fan of it. Not a fan of Black Friday. It has soured my taste so badly. I am so thankful that I have the career that I do, that I can spend time with my family on Thanksgiving. And then I can get fat. Yeah, I've seen it. People saw it was the same price, just looked at the price cut showed. Yep. There's a lot of sneaky tactics they do with a Black Friday and everything like that. Look, go enjoy your family when it comes to Thanksgiving, but skip the Black Friday. Sit around a computer together on Monday. Do Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday doesn't involve pepper spray. And like, have you all seen the crazy news around Black Friday? Like, people getting stabbed over PlayStations and shot over Xboxes and stuff. Like, it's insane. And remember, material items, they eventually get obsolete. They fade away. The clothes get out of fashion. None of that shit matters. It ain't gonna go with you. Focus on the things that matter. But anyway, with that being said, I'm also not liking how YouTube is messing up my algorithm or anything like that. Like, I am getting so many, like, YouTube videos I'm noticing on, like, this anti-woke BS. Look, I'm not one of those types of people. I want to see my tech videos, I want to get my news, and I want to get a little bit of gaming content. And somehow, in the past few weeks, YouTube has decided to shove a bunch of this crap down my feed, and I was complaining about it on Blue Sky. And also, I'm not judging anyone, you know, when it comes to their identity or anything like that, but can we talk about how weird it is how many VTubers there are with dudes playing little girls? Just find that weird. Especially the ones that are, like, going on about the anti-woke stuff, but then at the same time play as a little girl while talking about how they're not okay with people wanting to identify as a different gender. I don't know. That's my little rant. Yeah, Christmas to me at this point seems like companies made it to sell you more stuff and make you not feel like not feel bad buying it because you were buying for someone else. Yeah, exactly. I remember I got into this argument with my ex-girlfriend, and she made this big deal about Christmas and tradition and everything, and I looked her straight in the eye and I said, "You're an atheist. Why does Christmas matter to you?" Like, she made this big deal about having a Christmas tree and everything like that, and I'm like, look, honey, I go to synagogue. You've never been to church in the entire time I've known you. You don't want to go to church. And I'm like, if you don't want to go to church, that's fine. You don't want to believe in God, that's fine. But yeah, it was like this whole thing. And I was like looking at her like, explain to me why you feel bad that you can't give gifts to your loved ones when right now you're trying to make ends meet. And we were both working as hard as we can, and I wasn't doing as well as my career as I am now. This was before I had my, even before I had the MSP job that was paying me a salary. I was working hourly, and she was working hourly too. And I'm like, let's focus our money on the things that matter right now. And if you want to get gifts for, you know, your family and everything, let's find meaningful gifts. They don't have to be these extravagant, expensive gifts that are going to, you know, throw you into debt. Like, there are so many friends of mine that I've known that are in debt this year still from buying last year's Christmas presents. I want you to think about that. They are still paying off today last year's Christmas presents. That makes no sense to me. And there are problematic VTubers just as much as good VTubers. It's just another way to stream. I agree with that, but it's just kind of weird. I have a VPN issue. I've been troubleshooting and researching for the past 4 days. What's going on? Sorry, I got the hiccups right now. But yeah, I really think that we need to bring back the original idea around a lot of these holidays, which is to be charitable. And let me make this very clear. I get really miffed at people that do charity only around Thanksgiving and Christmas. All these soup kitchens, homeless, you know, shelters, all of that have an overwhelming amount of volunteers around the holiday time. But the other 10 or 11 months in the year, they're short-staffed. Charity should be an ongoing thing. Volunteering to make the world a better place should be an ongoing thing. It shouldn't just be a seasonal thing. And one thing that I really like about how we originally did Hanukkah, you know, because I'm Jewish, is traditionally you're not supposed to give gifts. That's a very Americanized thing. Just going to make that very clear. That was because a lot of Jews felt sad that they weren't getting gifts like the children were on Christmas. So they felt like they were getting left out. So Americans Americanized it, and the Hanukkah here, you give gifts. Traditionally, what you do is you give money to the kids. So that whole game of dreidel, the money that they would win would go to charity. And the money that would be given to kids is also given to charity, and the kids are supposed to pick the charity. You're supposed to teach them about kindness, charity, and volunteering to make the world better. Gifts, by the way, in Judaism are usually like a Passover kind of thing, if you do give them to kids. Just so you're aware. I have a WireGuard server running and all configurations are working except for this one machine. It's not a hardware limitation either. It's a little bit open there. We'd need more information. We just buy Christmas presents for the kids at family Christmas party. I mean, getting gifts for kids is just fine. I mean, they're kids. They're not going to know anything better. Kids are nothing more than dumb adults. If you think about it, they're tiny, dumb humans. Don't get me wrong. I love kids. But it's true. If I end up a VTuber, it will be because my OC is pretty much me, but vampire in a mask. So, one funny story is that Sugar and I have been joking about making a VTuber out of my penguin, and she has a concept for like a super buff, muscular penguin. So one of these days, you may find me as a VTuber, just for shits and giggles. I think it'll be hilarious. I think it'd be fun and hilarious to do that. Just putting that out there. Yeah, but yeah, I really think the problem with a lot of holidays in American parts of Europe Do it. Well, Sugar has to make the models, and she's been kind of busy with some other things. It's in the to-do list, but we have some other things to do to improve the stream and all that. And she just helped me get this entire microphone all customized and everything to the way I needed it. Stay. Good microphone. But yeah, it really feels unfortunate that a lot of the holidays in the Western civilization, maybe in Asia and other things too, I don't know too much about their way of doing things, but it feels like they've been commercializing every single holiday. Think about it this way. Christmas. Oh, you're expected to buy gifts for every one of your loved one, and if you don't, you're a piece of crap. Okay? Next holiday. New Year's. What's your resolution? Okay? Probably has to do with also potentially buying something, like a gym membership or something like that. Maybe not as consumerist there, but potentially could be spun that way. Valentine's Day. Need I say more? You've got St. Patrick's Day. Kiss Me, I'm Irish. All that stuff. It's been commercialized there. Easter. Gotta go buy your, chocolate eggs and rabbits and all that stuff. Every single holiday has been commercialized. I mean, come on. Memorial Day. You get sales. It's just kind of weird how, like, nothing's really basically been sacred anymore. It's all set up for some way to make a profit off of it because business, has to do business. Now, I'm not shunning businesses that have to do business. I'm just shunning in the way that a lot of them go about doing their business. But that's just me. I think if we focused more on the people in our lives, the loved ones, the memories, and the interactions that we do, we'd probably be in a better place than worrying about the things that we have. Like I said, the tech gets obsolete. The clothes get out of style. Just be excellent to each other. That's my saying. Saw your stream and thought maybe you would have an idea. It's okay, installed WatchGuard client, added WatchGuard config, that works. For some reason it doesn't work on this particular device. DDNS still doesn't work. Reinstalled Windows twice from 2 different uses and media configs, plus a lot more troubleshooting. Are they all on the same network? Don't know why you keep getting kicked from the stream. TikTok is kind of stupid. Nope, I'm remote from the WatchGuard server. Huh. Interesting. I would try doing a network trace on that and seeing, what's the logs actually saying when you try to connect. Because you need to actually see the logs to see what's going on. There's probably an error in there. Somewhere. I would, just trace the logs. There's always the Discord server and stuff like that, but, yeah. Any classification, so there's an overlap. Okay. Yeah. VPNs can sometimes be a pain in the butt and all that, but 9 times out of 10, it's just a matter of digging into the logs, seeing what the error is, and then going down that route. I hate clothes getting out of style because the new styles are getting smaller and smaller on me, and I put an old shirt on to get a new one that's smaller. Background music sounds very similar to HSR, Heard of Space Station. Well, this is just some music that I bought from a beat maker a while ago, so I like it. Gaining weight sucks. Tell me about it. I gained weight while I was in Europe from all the food I was eating. That food was good. I miss the food in Portugal. I miss the wine in Portugal. I miss the fact that I was walking everywhere and I was doing like 6 to 8 miles a day. And I was doing anywhere from 12 to 20,000 steps a day. And the great thing was, in Lisbon, everything was like uphill both ways. So like that was a good workout. Like that first 2 days, my calves were burning. But like after several days of doing it, I got it going. Compared to the new one, it was me, the same size on the tag. Huh. Gee, if you do the bare minimum of walking I do at work. Yeah, but I'm doing it uphill. I'm not on a flat surface. And nowadays I do a treadmill. I haven't worked out in a little over a week and a half because I was sick last week. So I've been feeling like meh. I need to get back to working out. Doing it, pushing carts, dealing with friction. You need to do the diffing push-ups. I do the push-ups. I just not in the past couple days because I've been sick. I have the whole gym. When I get back to doing workouts and everything this week, I will definitely do more push-ups and all that stuff. I just haven't been able to breathe right with all the congestion and everything. Every day late is +5 push-ups. Look, I'm already doing pull-ups and stuff like that when I was working out. I got the pull-up bar and all that. One of the plans I originally did have at some point was to be able to get a laptop that would allow me to do streaming on the go. Because I wanted to do streams while I was working out and stuff like that. Didn't get around to doing that, but eventually I could do that again. It would be fun. Eventually I'd like to play with the idea of doing IRL streams. But, a lot of times I'm doing things where there's privacy issues with that, not specifically to me, but with the people around me. I like to be cognizant of the people around me with their privacy and things like that. I ain't no Johnny Somali. Can't you stream on the Cube laptop? No. I can't stream on the Cube laptop. That does not have the capability for that. Cube's OS, because of the way it works, doesn't allow me to do the processing in the way that I would need it to do. I would need to use the System 76 laptop, which could do some of the stuff, but then I'd have to connect the camera and then bring the scenes in and everything like that. So eventually I'll set that up. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'll probably do that when I make my OBS a little bit more portable. Once it's portable, then we can get to doing that. So, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. And then we will be right back. Because nature is screaming at me. And I'm about to pull a Sonic and gotta go fast. Okay. I am back. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Don't stream in public, it might end up like a movie where some that is hiding ends up having their face in your stream and the AI scans their face. Wait, what? All right. It's time for a little bit of fun. We can still hang out and chat tech and everything like that. This game will launch. I love how, like, the game freaks out. There we go. So, yes, we have Rocket League. Every time I think of Rocket League, I think of Rocket Power, that Nickelodeon TV show. Do y'all remember that? So, hold up. Let's get the music going. Alright, let's see. Get my vibe. Yeah, I was deciding on games before I started and everything. Eventually I want to do Stalker, but I don't have that game yet. I also want to do Elden Ring. That'll be fun to play. Of course, I enter a game when they just scored. There are action movies with AI, and a picture that was uploaded on social media with the AI saw someone in the background and alerted the mafia that the person is still alive and Well, they should do a better job of hiding. Oh. There we go. It's tied up. I feel like Rocket League is at least one of the few games that you can just get into the action and do what you want to do. I just didn't feel like doing Fallout or anything because my brain has been fried for cold for a while. Damn it. Did y'all just block your own goal? I don't know how the hell I just... Hey, I got an assist at least. God damn it. We're all tied up. I remember I hadn't played this game in about a year, and I started off rusty as hell. God damn it. Get the ball back my way. What audio? For the game? Or for the music that I added? Damn it! Weird loopy sound. Well, that might be the, Hold on. Don't know why the game audio would be loopy. Oh, the in-game cheer noise. I gotcha. So was the audio bad when we listened to the video earlier? Or just when we started playing the game? Once I get this match over, I'll take a look at it. I'm probably gonna lose this one. Not 100% with Linux. It's sounding perfectly fine with me, though. That's the weird thing. Hold up. Yeah, it could be the game itself. Jeez, now I got another issue. Hold up. See, Brave 2.
Jamie Summers, you and your flunky ass runners. Meant to be the gunners, disintegrating the funners from see that what.
There we go. Okay, hold on. I gotta make sure that as advanced. There we go. Had to make sure it's on the right audio track. Here, 1 second. Let me see. I'm gonna see if the audio is me. Turn off. Okay, that's interesting. The audio's not going through. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's cutting in and out. I see what you mean. Okay, yeah. That's weird. Let's see if we can fix that. Yeah, that's the game. That's the game having issues. Let's try doing this again. I don't know why we're having so many issues today. All right, let me know if it's having issues now. Let me know. Is it still choppy right now for y'all? Well, what's weird is I haven't done any changes that could make an issue with it. Oh, the license problems? Were you talking about with Tuxedo and stuff like that? So are y'all hearing any choppiness in the audio now? There's apparently more. Okay, good. It might have just been a glitch, because I noticed it kind of, like, freaked out at the beginning when I was trying to do, start the game originally, so just restarting it might have fixed it. Because the rest of the computer was, like, fine with audio, obviously. Well, yeah, the issue with Tuxedo Computers seemed like an issue of incompetence, because the issues were pointed out for like 4 years. But yeah, there's been a little issue with a lot of licensing. There's a big problem where I think developers think they don't have to understand the legalese when it comes to all the licensing and everything. But look, even as a cybersecurity engineer, I had to study all that stuff. I have to understand the differences between a lot of the different licensing. Now, with the CISSP, I didn't have to go as deep as, like, you know, GPL v2 versus v3, but it was open source licensing and understanding at least the basic common semantics that you needed for a lot of things going on. God damn it. Tied up. Shit. I'm not good at that goalie shit. What's still bad? I don't know why it's being choppy. I don't know either. Oh, it's the cheering? It was fine without it. Interesting. Hey. Here, we'll turn off the crowd. Okay, how's it doing now? God damn it! I don't know why it's being so choppy all of a sudden. Shit. They're one up on us. Oh! Fuck! Yep, we're done. It could be OBS too. It's possible. Boned! Well, there's no filters. Except for the compressor that side chains. Alright, you can let me know if it sounds better now. Okay, so you can let me know if this still works or that's an issue. Because I just turned off the compressor. That was the only thing doing anything. But, to be fair, that's been on since like day 0. So I doubt that'd be an issue. Alright, let's see. Come on, come on. Nope, still choppy. It's probably the game. Or... well, I'm trying to figure out why it would be choppy all of a sudden now. Other than maybe the audio routing. Here, let me see this. Alright, let's try.
Front, left. front, right.
Alright, I just reloaded the audio server for that. Yeah, I use Hero for my Epic games and a couple others. I don't really have much from GOG. Almost everything I have is from Steam. Alright. Let me know if the audio is still choppy for this. The one game I love, again, it's a demo I have though. Oh yeah. God damn it! Should have used my boost. Shit. Tried being goalie for a sec. Okay, come on. Also, did I fix the audio issues with it being kind of choppy or nah? Sounds tolerable. Okay. What'd the bots say now? Fuck. Miss Cranna shake that thing. Miss Annabella shake that thing. Na 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 na. Joy and Rebecca. Come on, get busy. Cause she ate that booty nonstop when the beat dropped. Just sit swinging it. Get funked up, percolated, anything you want. Goddamn, this song's so old and I still know the lyrics. The lyrics of my body like tick to tick. I'm a bonsai Jonathan, then they calling my name, and it teasing my fame. It's all good, girl, turn me on, cause I earn them on. Let's get it on till the early morning. It's all good, just turn me on. Do you wonder if the people that have to write the lyrics for Sean Paul just guess, like, I think this is what it sounds like? Your sexy lady walk by with us, they wanna drive with us, they wanna ride with us. You know we close, they want sex with us, they get next to us, they drive next with us. I'm in the bonsai down the theme, and they calling my name, and it is my fame. It's all good, girl, turn me on till the early morn. Let's get it on till the early morn. It's all good, just turn me on. I don't know, just Dev, I don't know. I'm boned in this game. God damn it. See you later, vampire. Thanks for hanging out. What? Yeah, I wouldn't either, just Dev. That, yeah. I'm like, that's the left field one. That's why you saw me look over and I'm like, wait, what? Because on the screen over here, it shows what, was, like the approved stuff. And over here, I'm like, that's a 1 + 1 ain't equaling 2 message. Yeah. I rolled that wrong. You running this game from Steam or Heroic Launcher? Heroic. Because I bought this through the Epic Store after it was available on Steam. No! Damn it. Ha I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I'd have found a little bit of collar. God damn it. Shit. Damn it. Missed it. That much. Wish I was a baller. Wish I had a girl that looked good. I would call her. Truck sim right now. I put in a snow mod. It looks really good. You know, that's been one game that's been kind of interesting to me, but I don't know if I, would be too interested in it. I used to play like a truck sim game. I can't remember what it was. Wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl that looked good at my collar. No, damn it. I am sucking this stream. I was just a little bit off on that. God damn it. God damn it. Can't believe they scored the goal at the last second. F you. Ring the alarm. God damn it. Shit. No, 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 no. God damn it. Oh, I'm really banned from making matchmaking for 5 minutes. Because I get banned in that match. Shit. So always do this. Even though it's not that hard, apparently. Come on, give me some bouncers. Shit. It went behind me. I was trying to be all fancy and shit. shit. Okay, is that 5 minutes? Yeah, that was 5, okay. God damn it. Still got 2 minutes. Come on. Here we go. Now, damn it. Banned from matchmaking for 1 more minute. Oh, come on. That's annoying because I left the match because it was, like, really sucking. Yeah, I know. This feels longer than a minute. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, somebody tell my ex-girlfriend that I actually can last more than a minute. Holy shit! I actually made that? That's what I'm saying. I have no clue. It's just Dev. God damn it. I left the goal for 1 second. We're all tied up. Are you here till Thursday? Yes, tip your waitress, try the veal. God damn it. F me. I'm pretty sure I'll be streaming on Thursday too. I may have some updates on Blue Sky, Mastodon, and Discord if that changes. God damn it. You installed Blue Sky on your phone? Yeah, I like it. Between it and Mastodon, it's pretty nice, but I can see Blue Sky taking over on Mastodon. Like, I'm almost at 1,600 followers, and I'm pretty sure by end of the year, I'll be close to, close to the amount of followers I have on Mastodon, maybe exceeding it. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Make an account. The memes are great. I've been loving the interactions on there. I think you can find them on there. You're just gonna have to turn off the NSFW filters. They're on by default. But the moderation and filtration works a lot better on Blue Sky than Twitter. What the hell? Do you see what this game's doing? So let's remember, this game, I came in and they had 5 points already. So, not much I could have done. It's kind of annoying how sometimes it has you, like, come in halfway through a game that's, like, already lost. The hell? I'm getting high latency all of a sudden. Don't know why I'm getting a high latency all of a sudden. What the hell? Hello. What the hell? I'm getting a lot of high latency all of a sudden. What the hell? Oh god, I think my network's going to shit right now. Checking my internet. That is weird. How my network is going to crap all of a sudden. What the hell? What the hell's with my network all of a sudden? Okay, stopping TikTok didn't help it. What the hell is going on with my network all of a sudden? That's weird. My network decided to go to crap all of a sudden. What the hell? YouTube's saying my my video is crap. But I want to see what Twitch is saying. Twitch is saying it's excellent. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, a lot of shit changed in OBS for some reason, and I don't know why. But YouTube's apparently dropping frames and all that. I don't know why YouTube's being a dick all of a sudden. $11.01. Now it's just fine. I don't know. Started eating your data. I thought it was cookies. Hey, those are my cookies. Those are my cookies. Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's saying, like, no data, all of that for the YouTube side of things. But it's close to my, end of stream times anyway. So, thank you all for joining me. And, make sure to follow me on all of my socials. I'm most active in my Discord as well as Blue Sky and Mastodon. So, make sure to